good day, guys. Eager to get back, excited to get back. You ready to get back at home? First homecoming football game in program history. So guys are excited, and good week, good lessons we learned from last Saturday, and really good 2 days here in the film room and then at practice today.
Coach, what are y'all working on to bounce back after a rough week offensively?
Really, it's just details. You're learning from stuff, and a lot of it, again, you look at everything, but it goes back to execution and details. It's the same thing every week, and they're a good defense. Good defenses make you look bad at times, but really the mistakes that were made across the board from each position were very uncharacteristic of what we've done. So really, just looking at everything from the game plan, how we practice, teaching and stuff. But really, it just boils down to we got to execute better and just be ready to play. We got to start faster. That's really the last few games, especially offensively. But as a team on the road, we've got to find a way to start faster. But at home, that's the emphasis this week is really starting fast offensively and try to get in a rhythm a lot earlier.
I noticed a lot of players stayed after practice hours, to do more conditioning, especially with other coaches. What does that say about the players and the amount of work that they're willing to put in after a tough loss?
Oh, it was good. Everything right now is such a learning situation for us, and to look back and we talk about the responsibility we have on every play and every day, and this game being a game of execution, a game of details, a game of inches. You look back at Saturday, and it was certainly a game of good details and inches. So and that's where we are, and learning to focus on those details and inches every single day. And you see a lot of guys that everyone looked at themselves and realized, regardless how you play good, how can we get better? You didn't play good, it's over. How can we get better? And really just continue to grow as a team and units. And but you saw a lot of them out here just focusing on details and knowing that, hey, we're going to be in those situations. Credit to Lamar, veteran team. Been in situations like that. That was the first time we've been in situations of program. And you look at it, you learn from it. Hey, what could we have done better? Because we will be in this situation again as a program at some point. It may be this week. It may be down the road somewhere, so we've got to learn from it and be prepared for when we see it again.
Coach Eddie said that the team, right, in the locker room is not easily separated by a loss like this. When they're a loss, how important is that as a coach to have a team that's not going to point fingers at each other?
Good. Really, it goes back to everything we do, and then we talk. The chemistry is so important. We focus on it daily. We teach all the, our culture and mindset daily, and it goes back to just who we are, and everyone knows. And you saw signs of a good football team there Saturday. When good teams, when one group isn't producing, other groups step up, and so we saw that. We teach that. We saw that guy step up. The mentality was great. We always talk about just getting in range in the fourth quarter. That was their mentality. We've won the fourth quarter every week, so you could hear them on the sideline. As bad as things were going, you could hear them just get to the fourth quarter in range, and we got a chance. And sure enough, we did, and it showed up. We come back and took the lead, and just credit to them for finishing there one more play. But the mindset never wavered. Guys never flinch. We just you saw other groups pick it up. So that's the strongest point, and then that'll always be the focus is keeping that team together, that unity and the chemistry, and really it shows up in tough times, and that's when you can see it the strongest. So proud of our guys and proud of the culture they're building there in the locker room.
Coach, if you had to pinpoint something in the first half of last game to work on today, what would it be?
In the first half, start fast, executing, again, just getting in a rhythm earlier. It was too many mistakes. It wasn't, yes, it was some of what they were doing, but it was more just, missing a throw, missing a read, missing a cut, not getting us in the right protection, something like that. But it was on us. We look at ourselves of, okay, being able to come out and again, you even look as a play caller, okay, the things we could call different to get in a rhythm there. But I mean, you look at the first play, it's a simple pass and we overthrow it. It's just execution, details, but just coming out, starting faster, moving the football, getting in a rhythm, and that's usually when we got that series in the second quarter, the 75-yard drive. We were in a rhythm. We were running football. We were taking the quick game. We were going fast. So just being able to come out and get in a rhythm offensively would be the biggest thing in the first half.
Coach, that was your first ever game against a ranked opponent. What was the attitude of these guys knowing that, hey man, we had the number 18 team, now number 15 team in the nation kind of on the ropes, and we nearly came out with a dub. So what was the kind of overall attitude of the team coming off of that one?
Just the game of football. It shows you again. It's about who executes better in a 3-hour window. But the confidence, like we talked, out of the confidence that we can match the speed of the game. We can play at that level. You can play with top 20 teams. You can play with anybody in the conference. But we don't have the room for error to make those mistakes to get in a 17-point hole starting the football game. So it goes back to again there is some confidence, but a lot of learning lessons there. That yes, we've got to get better. We're still growing as a program. That's our 7th ball game as a program. So there's still a lot of things we've got to get better at.
and I know Coach Gamble and Coach Schultz used to coach at UIW. So to have those guys and that familiarity on the staff, just what is that going to be like to have the defending Southland Conference champion coming here with and having a couple familiar coaches on the staff?
Good. We're excited. We're close with that group. I know Coach Killow well. He's been great. In fact, through this process of the past 2 years, they've been an open book. He's allowed us to come to practice. Our athletic staff went to a game, and really they've been the standard in this conference. So we've looked at them. We do a lot of the same stuff offensively. There are things in our program we've got from them. So very credit Coach Killow, and they've been kind of mentors to us here the past couple of years. So excited to get him down there and get get on the field with them. But great program. Don't let the record fool you. They're a good football team. They're still one of the best teams in this conference. They execute well offensively. They're explosive. Quarterbacks playing well. And then defensively, they can do a lot of things, a lot of damage. So they want to come after you and do a good job there. Special teams, they're sound, but again, they've played some tough teams. They've had some tough games on the road, but record-wise doesn't show you the type of the team they're coming in.
And what kind of challenges do you think that you'll face this Saturday with a team like Incarnate Word?
Same as it will every weekend conference. I mean, they're going to be big, fast, physical, especially up front defensively. Offensively, just the explosiveness. Okay, another mobile quarterback. He can do a lot of things with his feet. He likes to get on the move, but they can score on you at any time. They like to go fast at times and push the ball down the field. So they're very high-powered offense. When they're hitting on all cylinders. And then defensively, their D-line front, same as everybody in the conference. They're going to be active. They're going to be big. They're going to be solid. They're going to move around a lot and try to confuse you and come after you at times. And then we got to win the special teams battle. And that was one thing I thought we did well. Lamar was really sound in special teams. Thought we managed that and met them there and equal playing field there and kind of neutralized the explosiveness they had on special teams. So we're going to have to do that again because Incarnate Word does a good job on special teams. But everything's a challenge. Every week's the same. Anybody can beat anybody in this conference.
Coach, not only are you 4-0 at home, but you've outscored your opponents 237 to 20. How's it feel to be back at Backer Stadium this Saturday?
It's always a good environment. Our guys love it. They get excited and you feel comfortable as you do, as you should. And you got your fans backing you, and then you got now it's loud when they have the ball instead of loud when we have the ball. So it's always a good feeling. I think they have confidence in there. They definitely walk in that building with confidence. So we're excited to be back, and we're at the point where we're eager to take on anybody in those surroundings.
Okay, and it's been a long process just building this program from the ground up. Now you got the first homecoming game in program history just a few days away. Just thoughts on that?
Excited. We've been there a bit. I guess I've been to 2 homecomings here, but it's always during basketball. So it'll be cool to get back around football. They'll have the burning of the letters Friday night. So it's great experience for our guys and a new tradition down here.
What are your thoughts on the way Jaden Haygood has played this season?
Haygood's phenomenal. Love the kid. He again goes back. He's one of the original guys that came in, and kind of undersized, but just a tough player. Just the way he's worked, the way he's grown, the leadership. And then you coming in the office Sunday and kind of sitting down and asking for things in practice. Him taking the ownership and leadership to say, hey, here's how we can get better. Let's try this. And so really excited about his future here, really for the rest of the year, and then his long-term future here.
That was kind of my question, Coach. Talking about some of those day one guys, Jaden, Jamarcus Anderson there, Elijah Prosser, those guys who have been here since day one when you guys started this thing. So what is it like to see those redshirt freshmen who have come in here? And I know you guys have recruited older pieces to come in here and compete with them, but to see those redshirt freshmen, those day one guys, those OGs, as they said, to see those guys earn their spots and play at a high level on the starting defense.
Yeah, those are going to be the good stories. Like, go back to UTSA, they started, there was 18 made it all the way through and graduated, through that process. So those ones that you're going to see here for 4 years and be big time players here and be known here for a long time. Those are the good stories, but especially the ones that came in as walk-ons. Some of those guys weren't on scholarship when they came in and just earning their way, earning their spot on the roster. And then as we bring in older guys, making sure they don't lose that spot and just keep competing, they exemplify the culture that we're building here with that toughness and that relentless effort and everything they do. So proud of those guys, especially Elijah and Jaden and all those guys, Jamarcus.